I always like to try new ramen things, creations. Okay, so today's knife is the Craftsman Fastback, model 4A-22-1520. Right there in the wire clip. I don't think it told me on the package the steel. And when I went online to try to find it, it does not say the steel, it just says stainless steel. So we've got rubber bands, wood, plastic rope, various twines and wood there, our blank spot for the processed material, and a bunch of new cardboard and paperboard. So let's go ahead and do the paper cuts. Yeah, this one's already cutting better than the Ozark Trail. I think it was the 6311. Yeah, this feels good cutting through that. You can feel it. Not in a bad way. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get started. So when I was looking this up online to find some information on the steel, I saw they had a compact version of this. I didn't see that at Lowe's, but I'll keep my eyes open. I think a compact version would look, or would be pretty cool. They also had a camo handled version, so, but I do like the red. Okay, so as I'm using this, a couple things to note. Very comfortable handle. Very comfortable right here where the liner lock is. There's no jimping, and it doesn't really protrude excessively, so it's very comfortable to hold. Keep in mind I have not been doing this for 8 hours yet. The clip, it's very comfortable. The way it sits, it does not, like it's flattened there, and it's a wire clip, so it does not hurt the hands so far. We'll see how it does in 8 hours, but just some observations while using this. Okay, so we got a nice pile of paperboard coming in. I did cut a little bit of plastic rope. And it still cuts paper. And so, in yesterday's video, or vlog, when I was talking about how the Ozark Trail 63111 or 6311, even though it cut paper, it felt kinda, I don't know, like resistance. But with this knife, it wasn't really resistance, but it wasn't like effortless. But I mean, that's a bad way of saying it. This knife cuts so well. Let me just put it that way. It cuts great. I can feel it, but there's no resistance. There's a better description of it. So I can feel it go through the material, but there's no like snagging. Yeah. So far, this is doing a great job. Now, there is a little bit of side to side, but to be honest with you, I didn't really check. I think it wasn't as wiggly, but it's not horrible. And it doesn't, I mean, it flicks open, but not as easily as I thought that the wiggle would provide. So far though, this is doing a great job. Very comfortable. I might put a lanyard on it simply because when I cut, sometimes I pull like this. So just something for the tail end. Not necessary at all, but I do like paracord sometimes. So far, doing a great job processing. Yeah, so there was maybe an itty bitty bit of wiggle when I started, but I can tell there's a little bit of wiggle now. So we'll see how, if at all, if that progresses. throughout the day. Where's the current time? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is after 4 hours switch from cardboard, pretty much cardboard, paperboard, to different types of ropes. Here is how much this knife has processed, and I think it's pretty cool. And let us go ahead and check. The paper. So it cuts paper still. It's actually cutting really well. As far as bit blade play, I want to say it's just a tiny bit more noticeable to me. It opens up a little easier though, so I would say if you're okay with that, well, maybe I spoke too soon. You can always tighten the pivot. I mean, the amount of paper I'm cutting is way more than the average person's going to do in a day. And if you are in an industry that requires heavy cutting, then that might bug you. But so far, this is doing a great job. It's very comfortable. So it's very comfortable. But now we're going to focus more on the jute twine, sisal rope, wood carving, and different types of rubber inner tubes and rubber bands and weed eater string. So that's what we're going to focus on now, and that'll save some of my cardboard for the next day's vlog. Okay, so we got some braided rope, some wooden dowels, some string. So that's what we're going to focus on for the next 4 hours. So this is doing a really good job with, let me get some of this mess out of the way. With a weed eater trim line, as far as just cutting it, compared to the 6311 Ozark Trail. Yeah, it's eating through that. Also got some aquarium air tubing. So go ahead and process some more of that. One of the big things I'm doing right now is trying to cut this tip off because there's metal staples in it on both sides. So I'm in the process of cutting those off, but it is doing some feather sticking. So actually I should probably see the edge. So yeah, it's still cutting paper, so that's good. I hate it when I thought I was recording, but I'm not, so let's see if I can remember what I was saying. So we got 1 hour left, and what I was trying to say was, so this knife, you can see a little bit of there you go, chipping there on the edge. And I don't think it's because I hit the staples on this. I've been trying to be real careful. It's possible though, because I thought I felt maybe there was one that was embedded deeper. But the knife still cuts paper. So So it still cuts paper. So one more hour. I also said that it does a good job with plastic rope and weed eater line. It just pops when I cut with it. Okay, we are done. So there's pretty much what we processed. And as you can see, it still cuts paper. Oops. Well, I'm going to say it still cuts paper. It was probably getting close in some areas on the blade. Yeah. So part of that could be the nicks that I showed earlier. They haven't gotten worse, which makes me think that it was maybe I hit a staple. Come on now. That's the only thing I can think of. Or is it a roll? Maybe it's rolled. Well, that looks like a nick. So, regardless, it still cuts paper. I'm going to say this is an awesome knife for EDC. Have not had to touch it up. And, yeah. The blade play. It hasn't gotten worse. I think it was about as bad as the last time I showed. So it hasn't gotten worse. So, anyway, $15 awesome knife for EDC. Don't know what the steel is, but yeah. I'm done with this now.
The red lines no longer being printed on the wheels. This cut costs, but also
Butter and noodles.